Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everybody, and welcome back to the Grand Prestige League pre-qualifying. It is lobby 5 out of 8, and we're going to go ahead and get things rolling here. Things have already kicked off. The official running will start soon, but we do have a few cars currently on track at the moment, so we'll just see how everything goes. We do have 3 drivers currently on track here at the moment. We have Ducadono from Red Bull Adidas Racing running a very striking green livery this time around. So it's an interesting color change. And then we have Comer in the BMW Sony livery. And then we have Yuki running the Exodus Motorsports testing livery. So lots of fun stuff there for these guys. The running hasn't officially commenced yet. A few more drivers still coming in. Ricardo from Foxhound Speed Group is in as well. So we currently have a handful of drivers in today's session. Lucian is the one hosting the session. And the session was quickly restarted just so we can go ahead and get things officialized here. So the running time does start now, and we are live. Alright, so we do have quite a few drivers here. 60 minutes on the clock. We will end at 9:05 a.m. EST of about 3 p.m. Central European time. So without any further ado, my name is Patrick Coleman, aka Rekus, and I'll be your host and commentator for today's session. And we'll go ahead and get started. So this is pretty much a development livery. So it's a development livery for the Exodus Motorsports, and that's a big spin there from Yuki, getting a bit too much into the grass. When we tell people to touch grass, in some cases, whether you get mad online, you know, insert situation here where you would tell somebody to go touch grass. That's why the sim racers never do, because they touch grass and then their car just becomes a Beyblade. So Yuki not having the greatest of times here. I will say, I think this is the first time I've seen a Red Bull Adidas not go with like a purplish livery. It's really neat, it's really awesome to see. And we're gonna take a quick step right back, and we're gonna actually get Lucian into the party. You'll see a bit of a blue screen momentarily. So actually, no, you'll still see things. I'm still getting used to how the PS5 works, so apologies for that. Alright, there we go. We're going to just jump straight back into things. And here we are. Good to see you guys here this morning. We do have your local tall man in the chat. And Lucian is here. How you doing today, mate?
Good evening, or good morning, I think it is for you, maybe. I'm good. You?
I can't complain. I'm back here with GPL doing some preseason.
Yeah, I'm excited for this. We got some really good drivers in this lobby. It probably seems like Whiteout is trying to join in as well. So probably be a lot of competitive times in this lobby.
Now, I know the last morning session we had Viper in as well, who really lit up the timing tables. A return of a former champion, also champion in Formula GT back in the day, which is crazy to say back in the day for that. But yeah, I mean, so what do you think of preseason here so far?
Yeah, we'll have not too many drivers at a time already, but I think we're I think Viper really set a good standard with the 149.8, I think it was. I think the top guys is going to be around that time, like sub 150, and it's going to be really, really close. And yeah, excited to see who makes the top 10 and directly qualifies for the top league. It's difficult to predict, but we got some top drivers probably doing a lap this weekend.
Yes, and some of the drivers who won't be in this session will probably be in the later session. So it's you're gonna see a good amount of drivers. Really get to see some really good pace, and Whiplash actually setting some really good pace as well. Ducky Dono setting the kind of the benchmark lap at the moment, but Whiplash was almost 2 seconds quicker just coming out of the third sector. Now, the Foxhound Speed Group had a pretty solid season last season. However, I think they could be real title contending threats this season. I mean, Whiplash, he's been pretty strong here, and he's looking very strong now. A 151, very good stuff from him. And also, they got Viper, which Viper has already been kind of top of the class here. And also, Ricardo just set a time in the 150s. So.
Oh yeah, good drivers. I mean, Whiplash was his first season in GPL last season, and he towards the end he seems to make a leap, improving a lot. So for Foxhound, I think it's going to be a really promising season for them.
They also now have the new title sponsorship with Starlight Designs, who made this very, very gorgeous purple livery for the season. So that'll be definitely a team to watch. And it's always kind of like the newer teams that kind of always put everybody on notice. I'm sure you remember from last season, Kaizen Motorsport, that were pretty much going toe-to-toe with XL Rapide in SWT. That was a lot of fun to watch. XO also looking pretty strong as well. And then obviously you got Comer as well running for the BMW team. So it's going to be probably one of the most stacked seasons we've had here at GPL, but also arguably the most entertaining.
Yeah, we got some. I mean, Viper's been in it before in season 3 and a bit in season 5, I think it was. He made a bit of a comeback. So yeah, this is probably the most competitive grid we had since season 4. Season 4 was so like ridiculously stacked season. But yeah, it's shaping up to be the toughest, possibly the best season ever in GPL.
And had a good time too, because GPL is getting more popular by the season. So, and it always helps when you have such a competitive battle that you always want to be invested in with the season. So it should be a lot of fun. Lots of newcomers to the field. Lots of returning legends. I mean, Acker coming back as Comer does some spins, and he was actually up. He was actually gonna set a 149 there. He was on track to, but unfortunately just had to spin.
I don't expect anything less from Comer, especially in a time trial or a pre-qualifying. He's going to absolutely send it to get the most out of the car, and it's going to result in probably one insane lap and a couple of spins or more spins.
Yeah, although for whatever reason, Spa just does seem like a track where Comer does come alive, because I mean, we have seen him. The thing about Comer is that he just shows up for a handful of events and does really good. Like in the LMP Master Series, he showed up only for Le Mans and won. That was the only race where Nuco didn't win in the LMP Master Series that we had a couple of months ago. And Comer just showed up, won, and then disappeared without essentially refusing to elaborate. So it'll be interesting to see what he can do this season with that BMW team. It's like Nuco and Toyota. I just can't really see him racing in any other colors. But who knows? Crazier things have happened.
It is still the season, as we call it. It's going to be a lot of driving market, it's going to be difficult to see how we're going to shape up with the teams, but you got the regular drivers driving for their usual teams. But anything can happen, and maybe we have like a shape up this season. We'll see.
I know that some driver market news happened. Actually, there was a driver transfer before the season even kicked off, and that's another spin. It looks like the exact same spot for Comer as well. Looks like he just kind of spins it just before starting Sector 3. So, bit of a rough one for him. But the only other driver transfer that I am personally aware of is that Tallman left the new LFO team to join Red Bull Adidas, which, as the owner of the LFO team, I'm actually really proud of Tallman. And I'm really happy that he's got this opportunity. Some good stability there too, because I mean, Red Bull Adidas it's been a staple on the GPL grid. They've been around pretty much as long as I can humanly remember, and they've always had a really solid driver lineup. So, looking forward to see what Red Bull Adidas does, and honestly, I kind of hope they keep this green livery, because I'm really a big fan of this green livery.
Yeah, they've been around for a while, and Dokidon has been, one of the OGs in GPL winners since season 2, I think, maybe season 1 as well. So he's been around for a long time, and we really appreciate that. We love that drivers come back, and we have sort of the same driver base, but still getting new drivers. But we kind of like to have like the same foundation in the league, with a couple of additions every season, which kind of keeps the mutual understanding of how we want to do it in GPL. So, and what you said about the green livery, it definitely stands out with all the other liveries. So bringing some new colors is always great.
Yeah, so actually a little bit of insider stuff with LFO. We actually did change our color scheme for the season, because there is a lot of teams that do run blue or blue adjacent. I mean, RBA, like earlier on, was a blue, had pretty much a lot of blue on their livery. Acura's running a pretty blue livery. BMW and Toyota do have blue on their livery historically. And then you got Foxhound that does run a purplish color. I know you guys kind of run the Amazon green tea, like teal, tealish color. So there's a lot of blues and greens. So I won't spoil it. It'll be on our social medias probably in the near future. It won't be on track, but it is different than the one we had on track, the Afterburner Orange, as it is named in-house. So there will be a new color that we will be running for the season, and honestly, I'm a pretty big fan of it. But it's always awesome seeing, I know we always talk about the driver skills and how good they are around one lap or around several laps. We talk about tire management from especially from the recently retired Nicholas Boita. We talk about how good his tire management is. We talk about all these skills, but the livery design skills that these teams have is absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, it's definitely a championship in its own. The livery creation, especially during the period we are now, it's definitely almost like an additional championship in the GPL server. And as you said, there's many talented drivers, but also creators in this league, which is great to see. And now we got Whiplash in the 49s as well. 49.985, and Echo is quite close at 50.2. Then there's a big gap down to Pixel and Dakidono, and Comer hasn't really set a lap for its own standards. Probably pushing it a lot right now.
Oh yeah, and also, and funny enough, the two amazing people in the YouTube chat, MayJP and Tallman, and yes, I am going to call you guys out. They're also very good livery designers. The livery that we're actually using, the original iteration was done by Tallman, and I know MayJP has done. I mean, his liveries have been all over Instagram, for the High Caliber Racing team. He's designed, I think, a majority of their liveries for ever since he was picked up to their roster. So you get to see some of his good designs on track. And yeah, honestly, I 100% agree. The drivers kind of treat the liveries kind of like their own championship as well, which is really awesome to see. I mean, I know we talked about it a bit earlier, but Foxhound actually has a livery design team or company as their main sponsor, Starlight Designs. So, I mean, obviously with a design company like that at the helm, you're going to get a very nice and striking livery like we do see with the Foxhound Speed Group. But, I mean, even some of the testing liveries, while they seem a bit more plain on the surface, they really do give that testing vibe, like what Yuki's driving right now for EXO. And then obviously the BMW livery, it's like the Red Bull livery. It's like if it ain't broke, don't fix it. It's a livery that has pretty much stayed the same ever since I've joined GPL, and I've seen this BMW roster around. They've always pretty much just kept that exact same livery style. But if it ain't broke, don't fix it. But I think Homer is actually finally about to set a lap. Potentially, it's not gonna be a strong one. He must have had another spin or slipped on a pineapple somewhere.
Yeah.
But he is up into the
Turn
150s now.
It was turn 1. He spun out. But now he got safely out of turn 1, and then see if he can set a competitive lap. I think he definitely can be up there with the top guys in Foxhound. I don't expect anything less from Coleman.
Yeah, I 100% agree with you there. We're riding on board now with the Portuguese driver as he's making his way down through the rest of Sector 1. It's purple. It's a purple sector. So
almost a 10th. Not the best next kind of sequence there, so probably lost a bit of time. But still, I think he's if he's clean from this point out, it's probably going to be like a low 50s lap.
I mean, we'll see. I mean, he can gain a lot through this next sequence of corners.
Now is almost faster than Wiper now, I guess.
That Foxhound team is going to be dangerous.
It is slightly slower, just about slightly slower, a tenth. Not even a tenth, just 100th off. Let's see if Comer is closer. It's not purple.
It's not purple. He is going to drastically improve, but it is not a purple by any stretch.
I think he's going to be close to Acro. Kind of like a low 50s.
Yeah, we're just going to have to go ahead and see. He's going to go ahead and try to... It's really just going to come down to the bus stop here. Is he going to make it work? You can make or break your lap time right here. He's going to punch it. It's not going to be a 49. It will be a 50. Oh, no, it is a 49, just barely.
Oh, yeah. And that probably gives him some confidence to just steadily improve. Now he has his lap. This is probably going to be good enough for WC top 10. So now it's just relax, and now you can push for just slight improvements.
Yeah, so that's pretty much how it's gonna be. I mean, sometimes you just need to build up that confidence, and and here's the thing too, is I know the Foxhound Speed Group is gonna be very confident now, considering that they have two drivers practically within the top 5 even in the order as it sits coming into this weekend. So we'll just kind of have to see if they can remain there. But that is a very, very promising sign for this team. I know you guys didn't have it super easy in the constructors with Exodus Motorsports and the WEC. Had a slightly easier time of it in the SWT, but I think in WEC, I think you guys might have a bit of a run for your money.
Oh yeah, yeah, definitely. There's going to be multiple teams. There's going to be a huge challenge for us, especially Foxhound, but also Acra. But also it depends on how the lineup will be. You know, it's not 100% given that the drivers that we assume is going to drive for Acura or BMW or Toyota are going to qualify. You know, it depends if they actually do that. And but with how it probably will end up, then we'll have BMW, Toyota, Exo, Foxhound, and Acura battling out for the top 5, which is kind of ridiculous to say that you might be one of the best drivers in a super formula in the world, and your team is competing for maybe a 5th place.
Yeah, and I mean it's gonna be a really fun season. I am looking forward to it. If you guys are brand new here to the Grand Prestige League, my name is Patrick Coleman, aka Rekus. Alongside me is Illusion, league owner and driver for Exodus Motorsports. He's here with me here today. And it'll be interesting to see how the season plays out. Runner-up last season, and so far, I think you have at least finished on the podium for both SF 500s. I know you won the 2025 Super Formula 500. I think you got second last year, or in 2024, I think. Third. So yeah, been on the podium every single SF 500. Actually, the first one was actually the first time I commentated here at GPL, and it was at this very track.
Oh yeah, that was a bit of a entrance for you, doing 2.5-hour stints commentating.
Yeah, and then and now I've done 3-hour stints by myself, and it's fun to kind of see it's kind of fun to see the journeys, and I know the drivers go through a similar thing, but
Comer's a good lap now. Oh, Comer was a good lap there. It was 1/10 up, and even the car was giving up before that. It was probably 1 to 2 tenths up on his own time. Just pushing it a bit too much there. But yeah, Comer is looking potentially improving by 1 to 2 tenths so far. So that potentially is a 49.7 maybe, potentially, which is quite fast.
That is very fast indeed. So, but yeah, we'll see how he progresses through the session. Every driver does go through a bit of a progression, and even the track too. The track does get more rubbered in as time goes on. So, and actually, there's a question in the chat for you. When are you doing your laps?
Well, I am gonna try tonight or potentially tomorrow. As some of you know, I've been stuck in Amsterdam for quite a few days, and I haven't really touched the PlayStation since a week before Christmas, so I'm probably very rusty. But this is a track I also quite enjoy, so hopefully I can just find my rhythm quick enough, and for me it's probably just about making it into the top 10 guys, and we'll see if I can challenge one of these times, but I really have no clue. I have no clue what kind of times I'm able to set right now.
Imagine a world where you qualify only for SWT. That would that's like sending Charlotte. It's like sending Charles Leclerc down to Formula 2 again.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
we'll just kind of see.
I can get it into the top class, which I am confident I'll do that. But you know, it's been a while, and Comer is improving, almost a 10th up. A lot of time can be found into the bus chicane there.
Yeah.
This track is quite fast flowing, so there's a lot of time you can find in these slow corners there. Let's see if you can nail the bus chicane.
Yeah, and a tall man saying Lusion and SWT is a terrifying prospect. It really is. I mean, what would Exo do in that situation? I mean, it's a very unlikely one. Admittedly, I will say that it's very unlikely to see you in SWT compared to WEC, just because, I mean, just of your history and your experience in this league. I mean, I know it's going to be some muscle memory that still exists, but who would you promote to that top seat in your absence? Would it be B23 or somebody else?
Yeah, I'll let B23 battle out when WC gets its elbows out.
You know what? You can take F16 from LFO to fill in that seat if it happens.
Yeah, he's in the top 4, top 5 by now. So he's well, there hasn't been too many drivers setting a lap, but he's 151.8. I have a feeling that's I don't really know though, but that potentially might be for WC. I'm not sure if top 10, but maybe for he will definitely qualify so we can do the preseason the evaluation races. So he might be has a good chance for qualifying for the top league, which is impressive for his first season in SF series. And Comer is 10th up now.
He is.
On Whiplash.
Yeah, and I mean, we haven't talked about it a lot yet, but it does tend to be one of my favorite talking points of these qualifying sessions. But we have a lot of rookies coming in for the first time, and some of them have been, actually, I say some, I'm going to switch that word up for all of them have been really fantastic to watch. And there it is, a 149.7. So that's a very strong lap from Comer there.
Absolutely no fuel left there. Not sure how much he really had, but it was below 1 liter. So the car in just absolute peak performance. Probably had his tires heated up and low on fuel. So that was peak performance. So from the car there, a good lap from Comer.
Indeed, yeah. But yeah, as I was saying earlier, there's a lot of sorry about that. Just woke up, morning voices kind of kicking me a bit, but there's a lot of rookie drivers. It's about 8 a.m. or about 8:30 now, so not too bad. I did get up at 3 a.m. earlier, but yeah, back to the rookies. It's interesting because we have a bunch of rookies this time around, and a lot of them with some pretty considerable hype around them. We do have F16, Tallman, May JP. I think Ricardo Pito is another one. Currently P3 in this session. So, and I know there's other drivers that are rookies that I am forgetting. I feel like there's another rookie that I am actually forgetting about that has been very, very impressive. May JP and Tallman. Actually, and also F16, the trio, really good friends, racing for 3 separate teams at the moment. And F16 and AJP getting podiums in the LMP Master Series. So that's pretty impressive considering the caliber of talent that we had in that series. And they have a lot of hype around them too. May JP does have Super Formula experience prior. He did race in Draken Racing League. And yes, Tallman, the British have come to colonize the league. I wonder if Gran Turismo will show any British bias here this season. But all jokes aside, yeah, it's actually really awesome to see. You said it earlier. You said it perfectly. Like, you want a good mix of returning talent, the veterans, but you also want a good amount of rookies as well, just to kind of keep things entertaining. Because Foxhound, it was their first season last season, and they did pretty well, considering how pretty much that season was mostly just you and Nuco just duking it out with a few cameos from the Porsche drivers. But, and then also you have Kaizen Motorsport too, who I don't think they're returning this season, but last season they were pretty much the only other team aside from Exo Rapide to actually get wins over the course of the season. So in SWT. So
yeah, that was an intense, great on-track battle. Even though we had a bit of off-track history as well, but about Kaizen, I think I've talked to Hop House, which is one of the drivers, and he was a bit unsure if he's gonna drive. So, but he said he had some drivers he wanted to send to the server. I'm not seeing them though, but potentially there's still time as long as they set up a lap in pre-qualifying. It's possible to join.
Yeah, so it's interesting because, I mean, it would be a shame not to see them again, but I do completely understand. I mean, Hop House in general was a really quick driver. Jedi also getting a win under his belt with that team, so it'll be interesting to see. It's always the new teams that you got to kind of really keep an eye on, because there's really no prior history that you can kind of look at. I mean, the BMW team, you can look at their history. You can look at Foxhound. You can look at Red Bull Adidas. You can look at EXO. You can look at Toyota. You can look at pretty much almost every single team on the grid. You can even look at Acura. Granted, they've been out for a couple of seasons, but I mean, they have been in GPL before. They have dominated in GPL before. And they do have a history that you can go back and look. It's a dated history. It might still be in black and white at this point, or the sepia color, like that kind of tannish color that they had for a while. But the history is still there for that team. But you have new teams coming in, like Racing Force, I think, is a new team coming in. I know they were heavily rumored during the LMP Master Series, and then you have the developmental team of LFO jumping into the fray as well. So there's at least 2 new teams right then and there, and it'll be interesting to kind of see how the season develops.
I mean, in terms of pure rookies, we have for GPL in the SF series, it's Anti-Shifty. It is Dead Endar or F16. You've got Pan Am. You've got Ekro. Tallman, of course, May JP. And you got Isman, which is also a Foxhound driver. We have not seen yet. So, what was it, like 6, 7, 8?
Rookies,
8 maybe?
yeah.
Rookies, yeah. And then you got some drivers who hasn't been in the server for a long time. You got Dennis, which returns after season 4, I think. It's been a while. You got Whiteout, who didn't race in season 6. You got Wiper, who's been there before. You got King returning. Yeah, and got Rusi, which raced in season 1 and even season 2, I think. He actually raced for Aston Martin in season 2 and actually did a couple races in the top league because my other teammate was not able to race. He's actually a guy who helped us win the Constructors that year. So you got some interesting names on the entry list this year. It's by far, in terms of the last couple of seasons, it's been by far the most hyped up season this time around.
As Yuki just goes and does a spin, yeah, and this is probably the most stacked roster that we have seen and pretty much ever since I've been here, definitely. I was here for season 6 last season, and then now I'm here for season 7. I already know what's coming. I have just accepted my fate at this point. I know what number combination I am gonna go ahead and see in the YouTube chat. I've actually already seen it earlier, so but yeah, all jokes aside, it's gonna be a really fantastic season, and that's honestly the ideal combination. The ideal combination. You got a lot of drivers who are pretty well current. Just drivers who competed in last season, who fought hard last season. You have the returning legends like Whiteout, like King, Dennis, and then you get all the newcomers like Anti-Shifty, Tallman, F16, May JP, and then that's pretty much what you want. You want a pretty good mix of returning drivers and newcomers, because at some point, I mean, we saw it actually at the end of the LMP Master Series with Nicholas Boita. Sometimes drivers do just tend to retire. Sometimes they either go to school, go to college, get a job. Although I'm pretty sure a lot of these drivers do have some kind of job or school that they still go through. But some of them begin families and they just want to take a break from competitive racing. And then in that case, you do have the next generation, which I do believe that a lot of these rookies will remain in GPL for seasons to come. I don't really foresee any rookie just kind of being a one-season wonder, like Kaizen was And hopefully Kaizen does come back. Wishing them all the best either way. But I mean, I think MayJP is probably going to be one of those drivers that does become, I mean, he's already exceptionally popular as is. He probably might have the biggest fan base out of any of the drivers here already, which is pretty crazy to think about. And then, you know, Tallman, F16, they're both pretty steady pair of hands. I haven't seen Anti-Shifty race yet, but I think he'll have, but just seeing his time in pre-qualifying, I know he'll probably have a pretty strong future in the series. So I'm really looking forward to see what these rookies can do. And I am really, really looking forward to seeing just how these rookies kind of progress. And will we have some surprising rookie upsets as well? Will we see one of these rookies take a podium in their maiden season in GPL Super Formula? We'll just kind of have to see. I mean, it does seem like the GPL has pretty much become the premier Super Formula series in Gran Turismo, which is obviously what we want as a league, but we'll just kind of see. I think, but yeah, I agree with your sentiment from earlier, Illusion. This is going to be a mighty fine season that we have coming up.
Yeah, I think the biggest winners are the people watching and following the league. That's the people who gets the most out of it. And we're gonna have like so many competitive drivers and so many good battles and team battles and probably some drama and on-track incidents. It's gonna be a fine season. We got 2 new tracks coming in as well, so that's gonna be a bit of a change, a positive change for this season, as we usually use the same tracks, which we kind of know are possible to have good racing on with the Superformance, as you know the dirt here is quite severe with these cars. But you know, we got 2 new tracks, Yas Marina and the Circuit de Villeneuve in Canada, which we don't really know. We don't have any data on, other than some practice sessions. So on that tracks, maybe something can happen. You know, we got some unusual new podiums, unusual new winners. You know, so it's gonna be a good season.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it's 2 really good tracks. I'm actually quite surprised that the Circuit Gilles Villeneuve was actually added to Gran Turismo. It's a good addition, don't get me wrong. I'm actually just like, when we think of new tracks that are likely coming to the game, that was definitely not a track that I was expecting. Just because, I mean, you really don't hear much, at least I personally don't really hear much about the track outside of Formula 1. I'm sure there's other series that race there as well. I'm sure it's not exclusively a Formula 1 track, but definitely not the track that I was expecting. It is good to have a Middle Eastern track on the game finally, although personally I would have preferred Bahrain. But Abu Dhabi is still a really good track. I actually commentated on it at about 3 a.m. my time this morning, so that track is pretty fresh in my memory. But yeah, and I know we did some testing at Abu Dhabi a little bit before we started pre-qualifying just to get some data on it, and it was pretty fun. I know they also and I mean, you can also kind of test out Super Formula because they do have that Super Formula event on the Canadian Grand Prix circuit, but how that compares to actual racing on the track will just kind of be up in the air until we get to Canada. But
yeah, and the Yas Marina is also going to look nice for the stream. You know, it's going to be a night race.
Beautiful.
It's going to look cool. I think all the liveries will look even better with the lights hitting the cars, and it's going to be a look. I'm just going to imagine the race start is going to look real cool.
Yeah, and actually we did start a bit of a track discussion in the YouTube chat. So unfortunately I was unsuccessful in bribing Lusion to add the Jaeger Nord 1 track as like a Monaco wannabe onto the calendar. I did it with AI and it was pretty fun, but I was talking about.
I was considering it.
Maybe for season
like some strange tracks, but of course they didn't make it. But
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I think the calendar is an absolute banger. There is not one single miss on the calendar. I think all the tracks that were picked are gonna be fun to watch. Yeah, and it should be. I mean, we always talk about like the drivers, but the tracks also are a pretty important part of having a strong season. And yes, F16, Nord1 was considered on the calendar. I pushed for it. I figured it'd be funny, if all else. But yeah, some really, really good picks with the season, with the calendar. I'm really looking forward to seeing just how everything does come to fruition. I know there's a lot of work that was done behind the scenes by you guys and the rest of the admin team. I know you guys have been putting in a ton of work trying to get everything situated, and I think you guys have done a fantastic job. And actually, I'm pulling up the calendar now to kind of just look at it, because I mean, it's a very fun calendar. Okay, so here we go. Obviously, we start off the season at Dragon Trail Seaside, the Croatian Dorito, as I like to call it. Probably my favorite track on this calendar, aside from Spa.
Yeah, it's been a bit of a classic season starter now, which it brings tight racing. The dirt air is manageable there. Yeah, it's been a good addition when you added in season 5, I think it was. Yeah, season 5. And then in season 6 it was race number 3, I think.
Yeah, I remember it was like one of the races I missed because I was on vacation at that point, and I was kind of salty because that's a track that was on my kind of like my commentator bucket list, and still is. I commentated for it's for Gardens. I commentated on Gardens, the shrimp track, as I like to call it, because it kind of looks like a shrimp when you look at it from certain angles. But yeah, Dragon Trail Seaside, probably one of the best fictional tracks in existence, and that's a pretty high caliber considering the other Gran Turismo tracks. Some Grid Legends tracks are also really good as well, but Catalunya, a track known for its diabolical tire wear, especially on the front left, absolutely just gets shredded there. Then we go to the US of A. We head to upstate New York for Watkins Glen. And then the first of 2 sprint weekends at this very circuit, the Circuit de Spa-Francorchamps. And then we head to B23's favorite track. We head to Monza. And then the first of the brand new circuits at the Circuit Gilles Villeneuve. And then we go to the second sprint, the final sprint of the season at Trial Mountain Reverse. Then we go to Suzuka Deep Forest Raceway, where we had our 2025 Super Formula 500, and then we wrap things up at the very beautiful, very bright, very sparkly Yas Marina circuit in Abu Dhabi. So, should be a lot of fun here. The combination of drivers and tracks is going to be absolutely a banger. If it is your first time here, don't make it your last. Drop a like, subscribe, turn on post notifications, and you'll get updated. Also follow us on Instagram at Grand Prestige League. You'll get all the updates as soon as they become available. And yeah, you guys definitely don't want to miss anything. And also, I do see a hot take in the YouTube chat about MayJP not liking Monza and F16 agreeing with that. Monza is a fun track to commentate, but it's not my favorite to drive on. But it's definitely a high-speed track. Not as high speed as obviously there's some other high-speed tracks that obviously we're not going to race at. Like I don't think we're ever going to be racing at Special Stage Route X any day soon. As funny as that would be, that would be basically the definition of a DRS train, essentially. But
I was considering a kind of IndyCar, NASCAR track sort of to do, just like one of the, what is it called? Not the Daytona, but the other one. Or possibly Daytona, the old, like the oval one. I was considering it to have
like an
kind
Indy.
of like a like a bit of an off race, which is going to be like a DRS train or like, but it's going to be like, you know, a tactical race almost.
I think that'd definitely be fun for like either kind of like a mid-season, you know, fun race or like an off-season race. I think that'd be fun.
Yeah.
I mean, who knows? Maybe that's what our next SF500 is going to be. Just SF500 at the Northern Iowa Speedway. I think that'd be absolutely atrocious, but it'd be pretty funny to watch. Not gonna lie.
Is that a small track?
Yeah, that's the small like half-mile track.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah, it'll be fun. I think FGT back in the day did a race there.
Yeah,
like, Indy race.
I was there for that. I remember. That was actually.
Okay.
I think that was the first Gran Turismo race I ever actually commentated for. Aside from this one really crazy one back in GT Sport, before I really ended up going down this commentator path, where it was really just a fun race where it was Goodwood with the Tomahawk X, and that went about as well as you'd expect.
Is that that's the crazy car, right?
That's the 400 mile. Yeah, that's like the 400 mile an hour car that will do backflips at this very track. Don't ask me how I know that. It is possible. It is possible to do backflip.
Track and race combination.
It is. It is also possible to do backflips at the Yas Marina circuit. I actually did it when it was last week, I think, when they had the special event where you could do the F3500B or the F3500A as like a race, and I drifted a bit wide and I hit a cone and it made my car do a backflip, and I lost the race because of that. I was pretty salty, not gonna lie, but it was pretty funny.
Is that from the power pack?
No, it was a limited time event for like a weekly challenge.
Okay, I'm totally out of date from the Gran Turismo world. Just being stuck in Amsterdam for 6 days and being on
Yeah, I understand. But yeah, it was a pretty fun event. It was one of those like weekly limited time events that pretty much after that week it's basically gone. So we are down to about less than 15 minutes on the session. It's been a fun one here so far. Still a good ways to go. Got about 15 minutes left. It will end 5 minutes after the hour. So yeah, it's gonna be just these 5 drivers going ahead and just giving it their all, trying to set the best time humanly possible so that we can see where they would qualify, whether they qualify in WEC or SWT or even the rare occasion where they may not qualify at all. I don't think that has happened in the history of the series. I could be very much wrong about that, but I don't think we've ever had somebody just straight up not qualify for GPL. I know we've had drivers qualify for SWT by a pretty considerable margin, but yeah, we'll just kind of have to see how the rest of this goes. But I mean, at this rate, we're getting so many drivers that we might either, I know it's been talked about for a while now, but we would either have to create a third division or just some drivers will just not qualify. And that in itself, that we have that many drivers where we can fill up all, what is it, like 28 slots, I think. Yeah, exactly. So that would be pretty crazy, not gonna lie.
Yeah, it seems a bit unlikely at this point, but if you get a few more drivers, then it's potential we can have like a third division, which I don't think we have had before. Or I think Nicholas talked about we had it in the season 1 or 2, but I don't really remember that. Or it might have been back in then where I think Super Formula Racing was super popular in GT Sport. Just when it like kind of arrived, the car arrived into the game. But yeah, it would be fun to have a third division. It would be kind of like a race before the WC race, so kind of like a warm-up. And if that happens, it will be no teams, only privateers, just free for all almost. I think we need at least, I mean, like 5-6 drivers for that to really be happen. So that will take the total up to like 34 drivers almost.
Yeah, around that ballpark. Which could be fun. You know what? I can just put LFO as like the sponsor for all those drivers at the teams. If we do a third category with that style, that could be a lot of fun actually. It'd be good for the viewers as well, just to get another race, because the one thing that racing fans like is more racing. So, but yeah, it'll be interesting to see. I'm really looking forward to it. I'm really looking forward to that prospect. I remember actually, granted, this hasn't happened, this hasn't really come to fruition yet. Granted, I know EXO has their own stuff and LFO has kind of considered it, but I remember towards like the end of last season, we were actually considering a merch store for GPL through Exclaim, which was kind of a, which it was an idea. There is a mock-up of it that still does exist, but I mean, there's a lot of cool things, and with how this league is growing, I mean, we talked about growth a bit earlier on, but imagine where this league will be by the time we get ready to start playing it for season 8. I mean,
yeah,
that third division might just be around the corner.
Yeah, and I think it's just perfect timing as well with the Spec 3 coming.
Yeah, I saw it.
Was it Comer or is it someone else spinning almost?
That was Yuki just nosediving a wall.
Yeah, I think it's just perfect timing, and then during season 7 we'll see how much growth the league will have. I mean, it's just fun to watch. We got 111 subscribers on YouTube now, and it wasn't too long ago we just had about like 50 or something, and you know, potentially we can get up to 150, maybe even 200 subscribers during a season, which would be a solid number. And then you just the growth will we'll see how the league grow, and then potentially we have a third season. I mean, a third division for next season, or we kind of have like if it's interesting. 496 from Comer.
That is beautiful to watch.
Catch that crazy time, Comer. Yeah, I kind of forgot where I was, but you know, for division, it's something I wanted to have for a long time, but we just hadn't had the numbers. But for this season, this is probably the first season I haven't gone around knocking on doors and asking, "Do you want to race? Do you want to race?" You know, this is just purely people just coming to the league. I'm not even either just from Instagram and in the server as well. I haven't really like asked people to come and race, which is something I had to do before, which just says that people are really interested for the league.
I know there was like some talks going on with myself and some teams from other series. I know one of the bigger Gran Turismo teams, 9 Pegasus Panthera, they have done stuff in Enduro GT, Aero Racing League, and a few other leagues. I know they were potentially eyeing an entry into GPL. There was also some potential talks of a Greek team, Hellas Racing, actually taking over the LFO team slot. That was also a bit of a rumor. There's been a few teams and drivers that have been rumored to come in. They were rumored for this season, but maybe for next season as well. Some really good teams that we could see coming up. Really excited to just see. Like I said, I think the growth is going to be the most exciting yet kind of nerve-wracking thing about just how 2026 is going to go. It's going to be a nerve-wracking season, mostly just for just the potential of growth, because like you said, we already hit 100 subscribers before the end of 2025, which I did do a shoey in honor of. I will do another one if we hit 200. before the end of 2026. So there is your goal.
Yeah, so go ahead, subscribe to the channel, so we'll have a new Chewy from Rekas, which I'm quite confident you'll have to do, actually.
Hey, it wouldn't be my first time in it. And hopefully, if we can get to 200 subscribers, it won't be my last. So, you know what to do.
If we hit 200 before, like, let's say if we, like, just hit super kind of growth and hit 200 before, let's say, the summer, would you shoot if we hit 300 before 2026? Like
I would.
Okay.
I would. For every 100, I will do a shoey. That is an optimal goal.
Yep. That's on record, so you know what to do, guys.
You know what to do. I remember my mom actually because my mom saw it on Instagram, granted a long while after it already happened, but my mom was actually kind of concerned, and I had to explain to her why the shoey was kind of a significant thing in racing. So that was a
Did you understand the concept? Because you know, it's if you don't watch F1, I don't think you. Is it only Ricardo thing, or is it something that is known from other stuff
I
as well?
think some other drivers in other series have done it. I know Ricardo was kind of the one that's like most well known for that particular thing, but and actually MayJP says he might know a team if there's any empty slots. So, well, they will need to hurry up because there's only 3 more. Excuse me. Wow. All right.
Yeah.
I've been fighting this cough for like 3 weeks now, so I do apologize for that one. But yeah, there's 3 more pre-season qualifying sessions. They have to do at least one of them. So if any new teams or any new drivers wants to join in, let us know. We'll get you the Discord link, and then they can jump in. There's another session later today, and it's about, I think, what, 5 hours from now, I think, or 5 hours.
6 hours from when the lobby closes.
Gotcha. So yeah, 6 hours after this lobby closes. It won't be streamed, but unless B23 decides to stream it, but there will be another session. And then tomorrow morning there will be 2 sessions. There'll be a morning and an afternoon. I'll be there for the I'll be there for the morning session, and I'll be streaming said morning session, and then that'll be it for preseason. So you got 3 more shots to qualify. Otherwise, you will not be able to race in this season. And I will say, from my end, there is a open seat at LFO. So if any driver even wants to join, like if a driver doesn't want to race under like a private tier team, there is still an open slot. Technically, there's 3 open slots depending on where we qualify, but there's at least 1 open slot at LFO. I think a few of these other teams still have open slots as well. I don't know which ones. I don't want to give you guys incorrect information, but I know there are some talks, and obviously, when it comes to racing, the more the merrier. So
yeah, and I don't think people don't have to stress about having a team, because if they don't have a team, then we'll create one. Because in GPL we have like historic kind of teams, which, for example, like Team Mugen, which is a team that has multiple different drivers, not like a steady lineup season to season, but it is an historic team. So let's say if we have like 2 drivers left that does not have a team, then I'll create a team for them. So then we'll be put into Team Mugen or any other historic teams that we had in the league. So it's just about make sure you set a time, and then when everyone has set a time and pre-qualifying is done, and you'll do like the preseason evaluation races if you qualify for that, and after that, that's when the team sign-ups open. So there's not really any stress about finding a team right now. Now it's just about setting a time and trying to qualify for the division. As good division as possible.
okay, so the shoey is the thing in Australia across all sports. Yeah, so, and actually I did actually talk with I think he's like either I think he might be the head of the Gran Turismo sector, but I did talk to Freeze from Nine Pegasus Panther about potentially joining. It did actually come up because I commentated for his Race for Charity series, which was a ton of fun. We did have some GPL drivers over there. May JP, Tall Man, and F16 all competed over there. It was just a fun day. It was 5 different events back to back to back, so that was a really fun event. Looking forward to the next charity event that we do with them, but yeah, I think that's where the conversation is kind of spawned in at. But yeah, it'll be always interesting to see who's gonna race for what team. That's always like, and even in other sports too, in American football, in baseball, basketball, insert sport here. It's always really fun seeing like the speculation of who's gonna compete for which team. I know they're like, speaking of Formula One terms, there was a lot of hype around Cadillac and who they were gonna sign. So, and I think here in GPL, it's gonna get to that point where there's gonna be a lot of news about who goes where for drivers.
Yeah, I talked to Freeze. He asked earlier this fall about the league, and he asked if it was like a rule book that you'd share with his team, and then see if anyone's interested. I kind of shared the old one, which is going to be fairly similar to the new one, and then I haven't heard anything from them. But you know, one thing is that is kind of typical is that people kind of, when the season has started, they kind of see the views or the interest around the league, and then they want to join. Then it's kind of too late, But yeah, we had some interest from new kind of teams, for example, like 9PP, but I haven't really heard anything from this since fall, I think it was. And now we're the last flying lap. It is now, actually.
Indeed, yeah. So it's the last laps of the morning, and then in about 6 hours from now, we'll be pretty much wrapped up with today. There'll be another session 6 hours from now. That one won't be streamed as far as I'm aware, so we're just gonna have to see how these drivers do, how many new times, and Comer just absolutely turning his BMW to a bit of a lawnmower there. And Sav's taking penalty, so that time is not gonna get improved. He's gonna come to the pits, he'll be done.
Yeah, it's only Pixel, Acro, and Duckadon on flying lap now.
Yeah, so Whiplash is done as well.
Yep.
So we'll see here. So
coming up now to the finish line.
Acro, aka Ricardo, will be the last one, or he'll be the closest one to be finishing up his lap. So, actually, yeah, okay. So Yuki is done as well. Pixel is done. So there's down to 2.
Yeah, Pixel was about 2-3 tenths off the his best, and we'll see if Acro can improve. That's not look promising, so probably only have like Duckadon left. As Acro does a 50.6, then we got Duckadon left. He's done a 52.5, which is a good time from Duckadon. Let's see if we can improve better on his last attempt, which is his last lap in pre-qualifying in total. 152 does not improve. Quite close, and that is PQ lobby 5 done. Just type it into the chat.
Yep, so that is pretty much everything done and dusted here. And yeah, so that's gonna wrap things up here. So just taking a look at your timetable here. I know it's kind of jumbled around due to pits, but Comer does have the fastest lap, followed by Whiplash, and then it is Ricardo, Yuki aka Pixel, and then Duckadono rounding out our 5 here today. So on behalf of everybody, thank you guys so much for tuning on in. Massive thank you and a massive shout out to everybody who's joined in the chat. And also the last thing I will mention is be sure to go ahead and check out our sponsor W.GG. Use promo code GPL at checkout to get a 10% discount, and you can support the league. so we can do some absolutely fantastic stuff. And then, Lucian, unless you have anything else, I think we'll sunset the stream from here.
Yep, that's it. See you guys. Thank you for the drivers joining, and thank you for watching the stream.
All right. Tune in tomorrow morning. We'll be back with the final streamed pre-qualifying session. And yeah, on behalf of everybody here, my name has been Patrick Coleman, aka Ruckus. Myself and Lucian have been your hosts and commentators for today. And we'll see you guys next time. Have a good night.